According to the 2023 National Electrical Code, in-use covers are required for all exterior receptacles on a new single-family dwelling. Article 406.9, titled Receptacle Outlet Enclosures, details these requirements. Specifically, 406.9a in-use addresses this. 406.9a on unit enclosures states that an in-use enclosure must be provided for each receptacle installed outdoors. This enclosure must be listed for the purpose, meaning it has been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory to meet specific safety standards for outdoor use. The enclosure must be designed so that no portion of the enclosure or receptacle is exposed to the weather when the receptacle is in use. This ensures protection from rain, snow, and other environmental factors that could create a safety hazard. The in-use enclosure must incorporate an automatic closing means. This ensures that the cover automatically closes when the receptacle is not in use, providing continuous protection from the elements. The purpose of these requirements is to enhance electrical safety by preventing water from entering the receptacle, which could lead to short circuits, ground faults, and potential electric shock hazards. In-use covers are designed to accommodate the cord of an appliance or tool while still providing a weatherproof seal. There are different types of in-use covers available, including horizontal and vertical configurations to suit various receptacle orientations and applications. When selecting an in-use cover, it is important to ensure that it is compatible with the specific type and size of receptacle being used. The cover should also be made of durable materials that can withstand exposure to sunlight, temperature changes, and other environmental factors. Installation of in-use covers should be done in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and all applicable electrical codes. It is important to properly seal the cover to the mounting surface to prevent water from entering the enclosure. Regular inspection and maintenance of in-use covers are recommended to ensure that they are functioning properly and providing adequate protection. Any damaged or worn cover should be replaced immediately. Failure to comply with the NEC requirements for in-use covers can result in code violations and potential safety hazards. Electrical inspectors will typically check for compliance with these requirements during inspections of new single-family dwellings. These requirements apply to all exterior receptacles, including those located on decks, patios, porches, and other outdoor areas. The purpose of in-use covers is to provide a safe and weatherproof connection for electrical appliances and tools used outdoors. There are several key components of an in-use receptacle cover. Firstly, the base, which is mounted to the electrical box and supports the receptacle. Secondly, the cover, which protects the receptacle from the elements when not in use and allows access when an appliance is plugged in. Thirdly, a gasket or sealing mechanism, which ensures a watertight seal between the cover and the base. Fourthly, a hinge or pivot point, which allows the cover to open and close easily. Fifthly, a latch or closing mechanism, which keeps the cover securely closed when not in use. In-use covers are typically made of durable plastic or metal materials that are resistant to corrosion and UV radiation. They are available in a variety of colors and styles to match the aesthetics of the building. The installation of an in-use cover typically involves the following steps. Firstly, turn off the power to the receptacle at the circuit breaker. Secondly, remove the existing receptacle cover. Thirdly, mount the base of the in-use cover to the electrical box. Fourthly, connect the receptacle to the base. Fifthly, attach the cover to the base. Sixthly, test the receptacle to ensure that it is working properly. Seventhly, turn the power back on at the circuit breaker. When selecting an in-use cover, consider the following factors. Firstly, the size and type of receptacle. Secondly, the location of the receptacle. Thirdly, the environmental conditions. Fourthly, the aesthetic appearance. Fifthly, the ease of installation. In-use covers are an essential component of a safe and code-compliant electrical system. They protect receptacles from the elements and prevent electrical hazards. By understanding the NEC requirements for in-use covers and following proper installation procedures ensure the safety and reliability of electrical connections. Article 406.9 clarifies that the intention is to keep the outdoor receptacle dry and safe, especially when in use. The listing requirement ensures that the enclosure has been tested and approved for outdoor use, providing confidence in its ability to withstand the elements. The automatic closing mechanism is a critical feature, as it prevents the receptacle from being exposed to moisture and debris when not in use, even if someone forgets to close it manually. This automatic closing feature adds an extra layer of safety and protection. There are different types of automatic closing mechanisms available, such as spring-loaded hinges and magnetic latches. The choice of mechanism depends on the design and construction of the in-use cover. It is important to select an in-use cover that is appropriate for the specific application and environment. For example, in areas with heavy rainfall or snow, a cover with a robust sealing mechanism is recommended. Similarly, in areas with high winds, a cover with a secure latching mechanism is necessary to prevent it from being blown open. In addition to protecting against moisture, in-use covers also help to prevent the entry of insects, dust, and other debris into the receptacle. This helps to maintain the integrity of the electrical connections and prevent corrosion or other damage. Regular inspection of in-use covers is essential to ensure that they are functioning properly. Check for cracks, damage, or deterioration of the cover, gasket, or latching mechanism. Replace any damaged or worn parts immediately. When replacing an in-use cover, it is important to select a replacement that meets the same specifications as the original. This ensures that the cover will fit properly and provide adequate protection. The NEC also requires that in-use covers be installed in a manner that does not obstruct access to the receptacle. The cover should be able to be opened and closed easily without requiring excessive force or manipulation. In some cases, it may be necessary to install a recessed receptacle box to accommodate the in-use cover. A recessed box allows the cover to be mounted flush with the wall surface, providing a clean and aesthetically pleasing appearance. In addition to the NEC requirements, some local jurisdictions may have additional regulations regarding the installation of in-use covers. It is important to check with the local building department or electrical inspector to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The use of in-use covers is not limited to residential applications. They are also commonly used in commercial and industrial settings where outdoor receptacles are required. In these settings, in-use covers provide the same benefits of protection against moisture, debris, and accidental contact. In some cases, in-use covers may be required for receptacles located in damp or wet locations, even if they are not directly exposed to the weather. Damp locations are defined as areas that are subject to moderate degrees of moisture, such as some basements, barns, and cold storage warehouses. Wet locations are defined as areas that are subject to saturation with water or other liquids, such as car washes, laundries, and exposed outdoor locations. The NEC provides specific requirements for receptacles installed in damp and wet locations, including the use of weatherproof enclosures and ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection. GFCI protection is required for all 125 volt, 15 amp and 20 amp receptacles installed in damp or wet locations. A GFCI is a device that detects ground faults and interrupts the flow of electricity to prevent electric shock. In addition to in-use covers and GFCI protection, other safety measures can be taken to protect outdoor receptacles. These include using weatherproof wiring and conduit, installing receptacles at least 12 inches above grade, and providing adequate drainage to prevent water from accumulating around the receptacle. Regular maintenance of outdoor receptacles is essential to ensure their continued safety and reliability. This includes cleaning the receptacle and cover, checking for loose connections, and replacing any damaged or worn parts. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to install or maintain outdoor receptacles. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to avoid electric shock or other injuries. By following the NEC requirements and taking appropriate safety measures, one can ensure that outdoor receptacles are safe and reliable for many years to come. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional electrical advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician before performing any electrical work. The code is updated regularly, and it's important to ensure that the information being used is accurate and up-to-date. Firstly, review the relevant sections of the NEC, specifically Article 406.9. Secondly, familiarize yourself with the local building codes and regulations. Thirdly, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector if you have any questions. Fourthly, obtain the necessary permits before starting any electrical work. Fifthly, follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing and use covers. Sixthly, use appropriate tools and equipment. Seventhly, work safely and take all necessary precautions to avoid electrical shock. Eighthly, test the installation to ensure that it is working properly. Ninthly, document the work performed to retain copies of all permits and inspections. Tenthly, maintain the installation and inspect it regularly for any signs of damage or wear. The use of in-use covers is an important safety measure that helps to protect people and property from electrical hazards. By following the NEC requirements and taking appropriate safety precautions, one can create a safe and reliable electrical system. These in-use covers need to be listed, meaning they have been tested and approved by a recognized testing laboratory for their intended use. This listing ensures that the cover meets certain safety standards and performance requirements. There are several different types of listing agencies, such as underwriters' laboratories, or all and Intertech, that test and certify electrical products. The in-use enclosure must also be designed so that no portion of the enclosure or receptacle is exposed to the weather when the receptacle is in use. This means that the cover must be large enough to accommodate the cord of an appliance or tool, while still providing a weatherproof seal. The cover should also be made of a durable material that can withstand exposure to sunlight, rain, and other environmental factors. The in-use enclosure must incorporate an automatic closing means. This ensures that the cover automatically closes when the receptacle is not in use, providing continuous protection from the elements. The automatic closing means can be a spring-loaded hinge or some other type of mechanism that automatically closes the cover. It is important to note that the NEC requirements for in-use covers only apply to receptacles that are installed outdoors. Receptacles that are installed indoors do not require in-use covers, unless they are located in a damp or wet location. It is also important to note that the NEC is not a law. It is a set of recommendations that are developed by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. However, many jurisdictions adopt the NEC as part of their local building codes. When this happens, the NEC becomes legally enforceable. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional electrical advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician before performing any electrical work.